everyone, and welcome back to The Girl with the Shovel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a moss pole for your large plants. Okay, so a bit of background. I have explored a lot of different moss poles. I bought several because I didn't really want to DIY my own. I bought one off of Amazon. I bought the Coco Core one. I also bought one from a local garden shop that turned out to be plastic wrap with moss covering it, so don't even go there. So you never know what you're gonna get when you buy a moss pole online pre-made. So I decided we're just gonna DIY it and it's gonna be amazing. And so far I have found that these are amazing. They provide a lot of support. They're made out of a plastic coated metal, and so they're very sturdy. I'm purposely making this for my monstera plant, and so I need something that can hold up a lot of weight, like a tree trunk in the wild. So I got this metal one. I'll leave a link in the description below, and also to the sphagnum moss that I'm using to fill it. So let's get started. Okay, so the things that you're gonna need, actually they pretty much all come in the kit. You get some gloves in the kit. I'm not gonna use those today just because I like to touch things with my hands. I'm not huge on gloves other than outdoors. I use them all the time. And then the set also comes with 4 of these wire mesh pieces. And be careful when you open it. I noticed they were really tightly put together, and when I open it, it kind of pops. So be very aware of that and careful. Don't let any kids be around, be near it when that happens. So what you're going to need for this project is you're going to need to get the kit that comes with the wire mesh. It also comes with plant ties. Those will be for the very last step. And it also comes with a bunch of zip ties. Okay, now you're also going to need your sphagnum moss to fill it. So I bought this. You can tell it's already half empty because I experimented with the first one. This is a natural green forest moss, which is a sphagnum moss. I got it off of Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below to both of these products. And notice that this is dehydrated. So I'll also show you how to rehydrate it to make it work for your moss pole, because we don't want to put it in like this. But because it's dehydrated, you get a ton of moss for just this little cube. Like I said, this is about half of it. It was about, you know, a lot taller, but that's about half it. So to start off, it comes pretty tightly wound. So I found that you got to stretch it out. So recurve it back around, and it actually stretches and keeps its shape pretty well. So you gotta re-bend it back to where it's straight. Okay, that's better. Okay, and now I'm going to bend it inwards, okay? So this works better if you have the zip ties and you just kind of start as you go, or if you have a second person to hold one side and as you curl up this other side, because it's so long, the other side doesn't really curl when you curl one side together. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pre-bend it a little bit. Okay, and it may be easier with 2 people, but you can do it with just one person. I made the other one all by myself. Pretty proud of it. You just gotta bend it. Okay, so now that I've got it all nice and curled around, I've got this little tube. I'm gonna pull it over and I'm gonna start zip tying it. And I wanna have about 2 squares overlap so that it gives a nice structure, and so I don't have like moss popping out. I don't want that. Okay, and I also found out that with the zip ties, it can be really difficult to feed it around and through. Let me show you. I kind of bent the zip tie, the edge of the zip tie, so that when you feed it through, it can kind of pop out better and I can grab it. Just a little quick tip there. Bend your zip ties and it'll be easier to work with. I will say the first one is always going to be the hardest. So I got that nice and tight. Now I'm going to start adding more coming up. So every few, I'm going to add another one. Okay, so now that I've got them all done, I'm going to put in a few more just to make it nice and secure, to lay down a few more of these edges that are popping up a little bit. And then we're going to cut off the ends so it doesn't look like we just have zip ties everywhere. Okay, so I know this is a lot of zip ties right now and it doesn't look that good, but on my other one, you notice they kind of blend in a little bit. Like I've got them all down here, but you can't really see them super well. So it'll be fine. Just put as many zip ties as you want, and it will also help to keep this structure together. I know there are some parts that kind of bend up, just zip tie it away. And now we're going to cut off the ends, and so it's going to make it look a lot nicer. Now this might be a tiny thing, but I like to cut off the end and then I turn the zip tie a little bit more so it's kind of facing in, so I don't have that sharp end sticking out. I just cut it and then I push it around a little bit more, and then the sharp end is not sticking out. Okay, so there we go. We have the frame all done. I didn't take, let's see, it took me about 18 minutes. So it isn't too bad. With two people, it'll definitely go a lot faster though. So here is my frame. Now we're going to add the sphagnum moss. Okay, so I know we get this brick, and if you want to see how to rehydrate it, you can check out, it's very similar to the coconut core bricks that you also can buy. If you want, you can check out my video here about how to rehydrate cocoa core, and sphagnum moss is very similar. So the only tip I would say is make sure you use warm water, and that'll definitely help speed things along. And it will be nice on your hands too, so you aren't, messing with freezing cold fingers. So I already rehydrated some. I've got some right here. This is some extras from the other moss pull that I did. So it was already rehydrated. I just had to keep it away from my cats long enough to make my second one, and I did. So we're good. I'm going to put a little bit more water in here because it has dried out a little bit. That is one thing about sphagnum moss. It can hold water really well, but then it can also dry out. So make sure that you're using it to its fullest capabilities. I know the cocoa core never really held water for me. Those moss pulls with the cocoa core, it would not absorb anything. So I really turned to the sphagnum moss because it really holds water well. So let's pour it out into this tray. Got a tray so I didn't make as big of a mess today. There we go, and there's still some moisture in the bottom here. Yes, this is nice. It's got that nice earthy smell, like a forest smell. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of water. I've got some water in here. Put a little bit of water in the bottom, just because the top was a little dried out. Just going to go ahead and soak that up, make it more squishy and less brittle. Okay, so one thing that I learned while I was doing this is it's kind of hard to stuff your sphagnum moss in. One trick that I had is I would get the my broom and I would turn the broom handle in and stuff things the rest of the way. But you want to make sure that you have enough in it that it can hold the roots and it won't just, be like a cotton ball. So you want it a little bit solid and a little bit more compact, but you don't want it like too compact because that's just extra work. Okay, so for this, I've got a little stool down here. I'm gonna put this down here and start just filling it up. I'm gonna put my bowl back under the bottom, catch any extras. I was gonna use my tray, but it is full of this moss. So now I'm just gonna start dropping it in and filling it up. There you go. If you drop smaller pieces in, it helps because then it kind of goes to the bottom and it doesn't get stuck on the way down. Also, the wet moss is a little bit heavier and so it goes down a bit better. That was another thing. Like the dry moss just sticks on every little piece. So if you're having that issue, put a bit more water in it and then it'll just fall a bit more because it's got a little bit more weight to it. Okay, so here is my awesome broom handle and I'm going to just stuff it in. And push down. Let's keep going. Okay, so we are done. Quick tip as well. Remember, if you're having issues with stuff getting stuck or caught on its way down, use smaller pieces at once and then also make sure that it's nice and wet. Put some more water in it and it'll help get it down to the bottom. Also, I like to make a little bit of a hole in the top here. So that way, when I'm watering, I can water into the moss pole itself and the water will start soaking down. I actually did this with my other one and it worked great and it helped to keep the aerial roots that get into this, it helps keep them nice and wet and moist and it helps encourage the plant to send out more aerial roots because it senses that moisture right there. So that is it. That is how to make a DIY moss pole for your large plants, okay? So we're talking about your monstera deliciosa, your Swiss cheese plant. We're talking about your philodendrons, some of your larger ones that have aerial roots. I wouldn't quite do it for like a fiddly fig. That would be pointless. You want to make sure that they're plants with those aerial roots that are natural climbers. You could also put a few orchids on it. That would look really nice. So put a few orchids and start wrapping the roots around and layer them down the pole and then have something in the bottom. That would be a really pretty arrangement. But these are mainly for your large plants that need a lot of support, that have those bigger, larger, heavier roots. Okay, and then in the comments below, let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you want to see a DIY moss pole for some smaller plants, maybe for your pothos or some other smaller philodendrons. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like that. And please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. And make sure to tune in to our future videos. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.